Okay, ready? So now here's Alex Jones's newest predictions, and they are chilling. Here we go.
Are you the only person in media who actually reads these reports?
I don't think a lot of people do read them, but I do read them. I mean, I'm currently reading MIT reports from their top counsels, Pentagon reports. They have a working group called the Mad Scientist Group at the Pentagon that works with MIT.
They have a working group called the Mad Scientist Group at the Pentagon.
Oh.
That's everybody's okay with that?
I know Epstein was very into science and MIT and
yeah,
the island of Dr. Moreau.
There's a Mad Scientist Group at the Pentagon working with MIT. By the way, where Chomsky comes from, and probably why he doesn't want to say anything about 9/11 being not what it appears. Okay.
And if you go watch their hour-long, 2-hour-long, 3-hour-long meetings they have on YouTube with all the tops, I mean, we're talking hundreds of top scientists, they admit that they're building a post-human world, that soon everyone's going to be mind-controlled, that they're going to put smartness in our food that they can electromagnetically control, and they just...
The post-human, I'm talking about, we currently are living in a pissed human world. But they're pissed at all the wrong things. That's the problem. The TV told them to be angry at each other, so you better do what the TV says. Santa can't actually see you when you're being naughty or nice, but most of our modern TVs can. That's...
Well, just think of all the people that are mad at actors for things they said, and think how cocked up your society is that you're supposed to give a shit about what an actor thought about anything.
I know.
But you would look at it like it's really important that somebody's hired or fired who's an actor. That's what people worry about. And sports.
So let's get back to more of his crazy predictions or scary predictions.
Lay it all out right there. And I've learned what these people said in the 50s they would do were done by the 70s. What they said their plan was in the 70s for the 90s, they got done. And then when they had their Agenda 21 in Rio de Janeiro in 1992, the big UN summit, they described everything they would do up until the year 2000, and they got almost all of that done. Now they've got Agenda 2030, and we're going to ban your gas stoves. We're going to ban beef. We're going to ban single-family dwellings. We're going to ban private ownership of cars. And we're going to do all this, and now you see them rolling it all out. So I'm not really making predictions in these high-level World Economic Forum and other large think tank groups. They are laying out the future, and they're high priests of the World Economic Forum. It's a consortium of all these groups. Yuval Noah Harari, you can read his quotes. The future's not human. The human era is over. The public is useless. I mean, this is a very anti-human system. So that's how I'm able to make predictions, because they've given us a roadmap. They tell us where they want to take us. And so when the public wakes up, we push back on some of it, but they always come back. And so I'm just following the trajectory of where they say they want to take us. And there were a lot of white papers, not just the PNAC document from 2000, a year before 9/11, where they describe we really need big terror attacks. We really need Pearl Harbor events to get Americans to give up their rights. I mean, take what just happened in Israel. Totally tragic. My heart goes out to all that have been killed or lost loved ones or been injured. But there's no way that one of the best intelligence agencies in the world didn't know that was coming. The massive buildup, the 5,000 missiles, the paragliding attacks, all of that. And so there was clearly a stand down there. And now the West will take more of the people's rights. Israel will be able to crack down and take more of their people's rights, which is a big debate over there. Hamas is being funded by Hezbollah, which is Iran. We just had Biden a month ago give $6 billion to Iran. And now the mullahs are bragging that they were behind the attack, Hezbollah funding Hamas. So really, those aren't even predictions. It's clear that Hezbollah and Hamas have tens of thousands of men and women as sleeper cells that are, quote, other than Mexican, that the Border Patrol list every month, tens of thousands coming across the Texas and Arizona and California sectors. And it's an easy equation to predict that there's a wide probability that Hezbollah and Hamas at some point are going to attack sports stadiums. They're going to attack colleges. They're going to attack synagogues. They're going to shoot up mass gatherings if they're given the order by Iran, if we go to war with Iran. And then when this happens, our government won't get in trouble for dissolving the border and letting these people come in. Just like on 9/11, our government clearly had prior knowledge. There was clearly a major stand down that went on. and the government got more power, more control, and now they're not pointing the Homeland Security apparatus at the Russians like they did in the Cold War, or the Islamists after 9/11. Now they admit that their main focus is Christian conservatives and the bitter clingers and the people that live in rural America, that quote, white people, I mean, it says that in the report, are the main terror threat. And so this whole apparatus of the war on terror, it has now been turned inwardly against the people, not just here, but also in Europe, where if someone criticizes transgenderism in the UK, they come to their house and arrest them. If a journalist does that, they come to their house and arrest them. If somebody says, I think these surveillance cameras should start getting cut down, they come to their house and they arrest them for their free speech. And so this is a global movement by the mega corporations, by the BlackRocks and the State Streets and the Vanguards that control 80+% of world wealth to control our behavior. And Larry Fink of BlackRock has said that at the Davos Group repeatedly. We're going to use our control over all this finance and this global social credit score we're rolling out to control people's behavior. So that's really what this is. And then they use the threat of global warming. They use the threat of a virus. They use the threat of radical Islam to take our rights. But we really are the target.
Even if
So there was a lot in there. And I just want to back up to the part where he talks about the future is not human, that it's transhumanist.
Yeah, right. Transhuman.
So does that mean at some point that we can all identify as a robot? I'm going to be LGBT, MIT, IBM? Is that what that means?
No, you won't be doing that. You will be part of the lower class that is not some kind of giant spider bot.
You will refer to me as an I person, or you will get kicked off Twitter. I'll tell you that. That's right, you analog cis motherfucker. I'm I person .2 with a better camera.
Yeah, that Yuval Harari guy says this stuff. You got to watch. He really is a creepy little Igor. So that's that. Yeah.
So this guy Yuval Harari. I wish I had a picture of him.
Just on Bill Maher.
No shit.
Yeah, Bill Maher, who doesn't know.
Bill Maher doesn't know anything.
Yeah, Roseanne did great with him. By the way,
he doesn't know anything. What do you mean? Roseanne was on his show?
Yeah.
Bill Maher doesn't know.
Random.
He goes, "Who's Klaus Schwab?" She's like, "Google it." She says to him, like,
he said, "Who's Klaus Schwab?"
Yeah, and she just goes, "Google it."
And he hosts a politics show and current events.
Well, turns out he don't know shit.
He doesn't know anything.
Wow. I sent you the clip of him reading the casualties of Ukraine. It's like Ukraine's only lost 70,000 troops in this thing.
According to Bill Maher,
their average age is 43. They only had 70,000 young men in the whole country. Like as he tepidly asked these two like obvious like intelligence cutout fake reporters, aren't they kind of losing? And they no, we got to keep this going. Both of them answered with the same.
Really?
Yeah, I sent you that clip.
I didn't. Bill, I told you I had to build up the emotional resilience to watch Bill Maher.
To play it for everyone to see.
You know what? I'll play it tomorrow for Tucker.
Yeah.
Oh, you should make that announcement.
Wow.
Yeah, tomorrow Tucker Carlson will be on the show.
Yeah, play that for Tucker. That would be great.
From 3 to 5.
I couldn't believe what I was looking at.
Okay. Yeah, I bet you Tucker's. Yeah. I mean, wow. So just the transhumanist stuff, that's real.
That's why the transgender stuff, half of it doesn't make sense combined with its own internal. It has no internal logic because the goal is to not have, oh, I'm a woman now. That's not the goal. The goal is to have no such thing as anything.
You're not a man or a woman. You're non-binary.
Yeah, so that doesn't really add up with people like somebody's like, I want to be a woman, but that means they want that.
Right.
They want it to be. So these things aren't compatible, but it's a stepping stone. And some book that what's one of them wrote? It's like something to transhuman. And those meetings are the creepiest thing you've ever seen. It's people from DARPA. It's the woman, the highest paid CEO, female CEO in all of America, who is a trans woman who invented Sirius Radio. She's a lot of the money behind it.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Let me throw it to Dissidence.
Martine Rothblatt.
Wow.
Martine Rothblatt. I know I feel anti-Semitic just saying the name, but the name is Rothblatt.
Well, so many people for the longest time would think, as the planet becomes, less habitable for human beings, which I think it will over the next few centuries, everybody would, rack their brains. How come nobody's doing anything about this? How are we not doing anything about The environmental
Yes.
degradation. Well, no, they're doing something about it. They're less people. That's what they want.
Yeah.
Like, fuck fixing to me. I mean, and so, yeah, I mean, I think he's right on that page. To go into all the specifics he went into, that's a chore, man, because look, whatever you think about Alex Jones, I have said this about Alex Jones from the second I found Alex Jones. That guy is one of the most talented broadcasters ever. He could talk for 4 hours, never an never an never a huh, never has to stop and start, and then, never a Kyle Kolinsky, sorry, go back, start again. Nothing. He just goes, he can go for 4 hours, never repeat himself. It is chock full of information, whatever you think of with the information on any given topic. It's jam packed, full of content. That's why he's been able to survive despite all of these repeated, efforts to make him go away.
Well, all his theatrics suck. That's the problem with him. Is like a bunch of his stuff I wouldn't have listened because he said it like a complete
psychopath
pro wrestler. And I also know he's done stuff where someone throws a drink in his face in the street. And he hired them to do that. So that showmanship shit, I hate that.
His style,
I really
he's
hate
very over the top and very theatrical in his presentation. And that's why, a lot of the points that he would make in this very over the top way. Like, when he said Barack Obama is a literal demon. Okay, well, he doesn't mean literally a demon, but he's making a point about the kind of person Barack Obama is. And I think generally speaking, he's right. And, look, Barack Obama is a public figure. He signed up to be spoken about in that way. That's fair game when you do that. When you start making those kinds of points about parents of children who were shot, that's a different story, right? And that's where he's gotten into trouble. But that's been his way of talking about things. It's theatrical. There is a performance art quality to it. I don't think he would deny that. In fact, I'm pretty sure he has admitted that.
Yeah,
he has. That yes, he
when
has
he's
a shtick.
talking there, he sounds much better. It's just this news is already over the top if you look at the actual news. So you really don't have to add too much more to it when it's that batshit, just the real thing.
Right.
You don't need to add, your Randy Macho Man Savage thing to it. When they made they make headphones that are going to read your mind. Right. I mean, that's real news that you sound like a crazy person.
Yeah, but they have made headphones that will read your mind.
Have you seen that?
They have done that, and they want to sell it to businesses. Yeah. So you would know what your employers are actually doing there. So if they're actually thinking about work and they're not daydreaming or thinking about something that doesn't, that's the thing we covered it on the show. That's real.
Brain transparency. That's what it's called.
Yeah.
Are you ready for the world of brain transparency? Well, I got news for you. It happened like 7 months ago. When I watched the video, 600 views from the World Economic Forum of this presentation, just 600 views. And after I get done watching this horrific cartoon that they made, that this thing is crazy. It's not an expose.
Right.
They're telling you. I looked down.
Like nobody had to go undercover. Nobody had to go undercover to get this. They're giving you this information. Go ahead, Russ.
Well, this is, what he's describing is this future of techno-feudalism. And the last time we were on the show, we talked about people have lived with a lot less for a lot longer without rebelling against their governments or their elites. And I think they're really thinking in those terms. Like, we can just gradually take away the level of prosperity, the level of freedom, the level of resources people are used to. And we need to, because we're not going to have the resources, and we don't need all these people. With AI, with the technology, we don't need them. They're trying to create a society where you have a certain aristocracy that gets to continue to enjoy the fruits of a materially prosperous Western style society, where while everybody else becomes a zombified, technologically addicted drone pursuing empty dopamine hits instead of legitimate, genuine human experiences.
Speaking of genuine human experiences, you can see us having one in Oxnard, California this Sunday. at Levity Live Comedy Club. I'll be there. Steph will be there. Kurt Metzger will be there on that show. That's this Sunday. If you're in Oxnard, California, or anywhere near there, come out to Levity Live. It's also, they used to be called Improvs, but now some of them are called Levity Lives. They're nice comedy clubs. They're very nice. We're going to have a great time. Come down, have some chicken sliders, and get yourself a couple of cocktails. And
while you still can.
While you still can, and watch it. You can listen to all my new Israel-Palestine jokes.
I'm looking forward to the metaverse because have you seen it's way better now? The graphics of the metaverse.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and all these people bought all the meta land ahead of time. Remember, like Snoop Dogg and all the best metaverse land got bought up. So you're gonna go in the metaverse to escape your crappy life, and you're gonna put on. It's gonna be like marginally. Though you'll have like a house plant in the metaverse, but you won't be able to afford a home there either.
You're going to be poor in the metaverse.
It's just going to be a series of metaverses you keep putting on your head.
Okay, over to Steph.
All right. Hey, thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Subscribe by clicking on that button down there for more AM Joy and the rest of MSNBC. And click on any of the videos right here to watch the latest interviews and highlights. And you can get more videos from MSNBC for free every day with our newsletter. Just visit